and let's put name as title. And now let's go to the requirement, and if I edit this item and link this Word document, share docs 2. So what I have done as a SharePoint user is, some people use SharePoint as the document management, so you can create different design documents and stuff like that here and upload it into SharePoint, and then you can link that document to your requirement. But at the same time, you see that your requirements are coming automatically into your SharePoint requirement list, and that is getting done through Omnibus. Okay. Now let's go back to the requirement here, and we have already seen these different items, and now there is also another diagram here, relation diagram, which would show all the artifacts that are created in the context of this particular requirement in a linked format, in a network diagram format. So you see, this is the requirement that was created from the portal site, the original request, and this is the Rec Pro requirement. Then this is the test case from Quality Center. This is the SharePoint document. This is the Perforce change list. And if I double click on the Perforce change list, it should bring the file. Also, you can see here, if I double click on the change set TFS, it gets the TFS file here. So I get the whole connectivity of the requirement here. So from one single place, I can see all the artifacts, how they're connected. And even from here, directly, I can open up and view the record and see the SharePoint document directly from here. Okay. Now, let's show another, see another report, traceability hierarchy, also in the same format, but so this is the project, and now I'm expanding the project. This is the customer requirement. Now I can see in the customer requirement, so this was the customer requirement. This is the change set from TFS. Expand that, I can get to see the TFS file, and then this is the Requisite Pro requirement. This is the test case, and this is the Perforce change list, and also this is the Perforce file. So this is a nice report where I can see all the items and their different information in the context of this particular requirement. Okay. Now let's show another report. So we have a Word plugin using which you can create different Word template as per your kind of requirement, and then upload those Word templates to the Kovair system, and then generate a report automatically from within the system. And all the artifacts that are coming from different tools, you can embed those in information within the Word template and see that report. So it's taking some time. There are a number of requirements in that project. So what it is doing is creating the report in the background, getting all the artifact information coming from different tools and putting that into Word document. So this is an integrated Word document. Okay. Let's see. This is an example document. You can configure it as per your template, your formatting and stuff like that. Okay. So this is the document that is generated. So let's now number. See, this is the particular requirement that we created. So this is the requirement from the portal side. You get to see different information. This is the Requisite Pro requirement. And then you have the SharePoint document. You have the Quality Center test case and the Perforce change list, the Perforce file, the TFS file. See all the review comment we put in Visual Studio TFS. It's getting shown here, and also the TFS file here. And this is a nicely formatted document with rich text and all these things. So if you are capturing these text from different tools, that would also show up here. So this is, let's now see some of the dashboards. Click on the dashboard. So Kovair has different graphical, textual dashboards, as you can see, pie charts, bar chart, trend, so different kind of reports. So, and these reports are getting real-time data, and the data is coming from different tools. So like say if I click on the customer portion of the pie chart and sort by the requirement ID, I get to see the requirement from the portal. So this is here. Now if I click on the functional part, I should be able to see the requirement from the Requisite Pro. Yes, that shows up here. Okay. Now if I go down, so you see here, this is a report for code coverage. So this is the particular requirement. I see that there is a TFS file already linked. So that means coding has already been started, and I can see it from here. Okay. If I go down for the test coverage, so see both the requirements here, Requisite Pro requirement and the portal requirement, and I see the test cases are also created against that. So that means I know the test cases are there and it will be tested. Okay. Test run coverage or run status. So here if I click on the no run and sort it by ID, I should be able to see the test case from Quality Center. It shows up here. It has not been run yet, but if I run the test case either manually or through QTP, we have also integration with QTP, then the test results would show up here, whether it is passed, failed, and things like that. So there are several reports like that. All the data is coming real time from different tools. So as a project manager, I can observe how things are moving, how the different stakeholders are using their tools to create different artifacts while developing the code, while testing the requirement from one single place. I can see all the integrated dashboards and reports. So as you can see that everybody is connected in the process, even though they are using different tools, information is not locked in any single tool. It is now available for everybody from everywhere, and Kovair Omnibus makes it possible. Okay, so that's the end of my demo portion. Now I would hand it over to Sky for further discussion and slideshows.
Okay, thank you, Atanu. That was a wonderful demonstration. I hope that our attendees today got a fairly good idea about how Omnibus can be used to integrate a number of different tools from different vendors to Visual Studio and TFS to get a full ecosystem of all these different tools. So let me transfer back the control to me. Actually, let's go to my screen here. So as I mentioned before Atanu started that please put your questions there. So while you are putting your questions, let me show you a couple of more slides here. So for example, when we are talking about Omnibus, of course, Omnibus is the technology to create all these different adapters, etc. But Omnibus is not just that. Omnibus is actually a full environment to manage your integration. That includes all the different functionalities like the conflict detection, the system recovery, the load balancing, etc. So Omnibus is actually being used in production by a very large Indian service company in a distributed manner for a large number of users. So all these different enterprise strength functionalities are used for managing such a huge distributed integration ecosystem. So that's basically what Omnibus is. Now here is actually the Microsoft tools which are actually integrated with Omnibus, and we have actually we support VSTS, I think 2005, 2008, 2010, so all the version up to the 2010, the latest one. And actually for the users for, let's say, the VSTS architect, so these are some of the screenshots we have created. So VSTS architect, you can actually directly add your designs directly to Omnibus using this interface. Similarly, if you're using VSTS Team Builder, then when you have a build error, automatically that will be added to Omnibus and replicated to whatever bug tracking tool you're using, maybe Jira or something else. Similarly, the VSTS build, an error will be added to Omnibus and replicated to the bug tracking tool. Or if you're using FXCOP, which is a guideline compliance enforcer, so any kind of compliance error, again, those things can be added to your bug tracking tool or any kind of incident management tool using Omnibus. So these are all the, I would say, migration paths to use additional Microsoft VSTS tools. We already have those adapters ready so that you can start using whenever you are ready. So what are the value proposition for the Microsoft Tools users? First of all, Omnibus is a single point turnkey integration for multi-vendor tools, as we have shown today. And it can actually solve for every integration and migration situation you may be facing today. We have the most extensive adapter library today. There is no other technology in the market which has got so many adapters and the enterprise service bus. As we mentioned that it is an enterprise service bus, so it is much superior to a point-to-point integration available from other vendors. And finally, we empower the end users to use the visual interface to create and manage all the business rules. Okay, so let's look at some of these questions you have put possibly. But in the meantime, if you have any further questions, please send email to sales@kovair.com. Okay, so let's see some of these questions. Okay, so one of the questions is, should the requirements always be submitted in the specified way? The answer is no. Actually, this is just as an example we have given that using this corporate website, we have submitted a requirement, but you can create the requirement directly in Requisite Pro, as Atanu has shown, or any other requirements management tool. If you are using Caliber RM, Doors, etc., you can actually create these requirements a number of different ways. Even sending an email, Kovair actually integrates email also. So there are a number of different ways you can actually create these requirements. Does this support Visual Studio 2010? As I mentioned, yes, it does support Visual Studio 2010. And let's see. Then the question is about the pricing. Pricing actually, as I mentioned, that there are different components of Kovair. You have the Kovair platform, which depends on the number of users, basically. And we have got different slabs for that number of users. Then, of course, you have the adapters, and the adapter prices, of course, depends on the particular tool. For simple tool, normally the adapter prices are lower than more complex tools. And then also you have the plugins, and it depends on how many people will be using the plugin, that means the Visual Studio plugins. So one thing I can mention that our pricing is actually very friendly, and it is a very small fraction of the investment you have made for your tools so far. So that is about the pricing. And again, the question is about the TFS 2010. The answer is yes, we have the adapter for both Visual Studio and TFS 2010. With that, I would like to conclude today's webinar today. It's already 5 minutes past our time, And once again, thank you so much to everybody to attend this webinar. And on behalf of Atanu and myself, I'd like to thank you once again. Goodbye.